Hey guys, it's Scott with Scotty B Cards, and in this video we have another Rookie Card Rankings. Rookie Card Rankings is a video series where I take a player's top 15 rookie cards and I rank them on this pyramid so you can get an idea of what the best card to target is. This week we're going to be focusing on Vladimir Guerrero Jr., probably the hottest player in baseball right now, playing fantastic, probably the lead for AL MVP. Him and Shohei Ohtani are right there, and so he's finally broken out. He has a lot of rookie cards and it's kind of confusing what to buy, so I'll help you. One thing I will say is if you are a sports card, baseball card, or trading card fan, hit the subscribe button. This is the channel for you. We post 2 to 3 times weekly exclusively about this content. Just a few rules about rookie card rankings. What I do is I take just the base cards. I do not take into consideration autographs, parallels, numbered cards, image variation, short prints, none of that. I also do not have any of the online purchases from like Topps Now, Living Set. I also try not to take into consideration the Montgomery Club sets or any of those products just because they weren't readily available to the public and it makes the list more confusing. These are the mainstream cards that are the best buys for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. So at number 15, we have the Topps Tribute Rookie card of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This card is cool. I've talked about this in the past, but the reason why this is an interesting card is because these are case hits. You do not get rookie cards very often, and every single one of them is numbered to 435 or less. So they're really short printed, probably one of his rarest cards. I went to look at the PSA 10 pop, but there was no PSA 10. There's only one card graded from this set, and that is a PSA 9. So it's a pop 1, none higher. Only card that's out there. So this one I have at number 15 because it's hard to place since there aren't any comps. There are some base cards and these sell for raw about $40, $35 to $40. And again, no PSA 10s, just a pop 1 on PSA 9s. That is number 15. Definitely has an argument to be higher, but I just wanted to put it here so it wasn't forgotten about. At number 14, we have 2019 Topps Sterling. One of my very favorite products is Topps Sterling. I think it's very underrated. Historically, it was a very short printed product. It's a hobby-only product, which helps because there's not a lot of it out there. On top of that, there's a lot less base cards out there than other sets because you only get 5 packs per box with just a few cards per pack. So really great card. Right now, there are 234 graded by PSA. There are 179 PSA 10, so it's a 76.5% pop gem rate. This is a $7.50 card raw, which seems like a really good deal, and $75 in a PSA 10. One thing about Vlad in comparison to some of the past players like Tatis, Acuna, Soto that I've been doing, his cards have a lot of room to go up. If he continues this stretch he's playing on, if he continues being hot, these cards will go way up and there's a lot of margin to be made on them. So I think he's a great buy. At number 13, we have a more recognizable brand, a more classic brand, and that is Topps Finest. Here is his Topps Finest rookie cards. Finest has been around since the 1990s for good reason because it's one of the best chromium sets. It's forgotten about nowadays because there's so many different Topps Chrome Sapphire, Topps Chrome Update, Topps Chrome. You have Bowman's Best. You have all these different chromium brands. Even Topps Bowman Sterling, like I just showed, is another chromium product. But this is one of the OGs. It's not really respected as much. Right now, it's a $15 card raw, so not bad, and an $80 card in a PSA 10. There are 428 PSA 10s out of 498 graded, so not a hard card to gem at all. It's just a tougher card to obtain because of the fact that it is a hobby product as well. It is an 86% gem rate, and that is our number 13 choice. At number 12, we have another iconic brand. This is Topps Heritage. Topps Heritage is one of my favorites. They go 50 years in the past. They take the set from 50 years ago, and then they put the modern player on them. So, 50 years from now, 2071, we'll have the 2021 flagship design on those products, which is kind of interesting to think about. But this card right now, this is from the 1970 set. It is a $10 card raw, $80 in the PSA 10. There are a lot more of these graded. There are 4,286 graded with a PSA 10 pop of 3,595 for a gem rate of about 84%. So it's not really a tough card to get in a PSA 10, even though it's an iconic set and well known. That's why it's further down on this list. Right now, because it is so easy to get, they aren't worth a ton of money. $80 in a PSA 10 is very reasonable for a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. rookie card, in my opinion, especially from a main release. And that is the opposite of this next card I'm going to be showing. It is also a Heritage set. Bowman Heritage was released last year as its own type of product. There was Bowman Heritage like minor leagues, but this is a new set that features rookie cards as well from like more of a classic design. This Bowman Heritage is $10 raw, $90 in a PSA 10, so close to this other Heritage card, but worth a little bit more in a PSA 10 grade. But that's just because there are only 68 PSA 10s compared to the other Heritage having almost 3,600. On top of that, there are only 80 graded. That is a high gem rate, but not many of them have been graded at all. That is an 85% gem rate. And even though it's less iconic than the other Heritage card, I think in the future, if there's going to be a lot of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. collectors, they're going to want that Bowman Heritage just as much as the Topps Heritage, which will make it so it's more desirable because there'll be a lot of collectors, not very many cards. So that's why I have it above the other Topps Heritage card. Next up, we have Stadium Club. And it is so nice to see people paying a pretty good price for Stadium Club. And it's because this is a really good looking card. Stadium Club is a set that focuses on the imagery, and it's a very large checklist. Usually you can kind of complete the entire set of a lot of sets in 1 or 2 hobby boxes. I've heard people buy 4 or 5 or 6 and haven't been able to complete the entire set 'cause it's so big and it's just focused on pictures, like I was saying. On top of that, this card raw is $8, so it's actually worth less than the last few. But in a PSA 10, it's a $90 card. It's about the same as the Bowman Heritage because there are only 98 PSA 10s and the gem rate is 36%. So you're not likely to get a PSA 10. There's 265 submitted. And that's just because of the thin stock. It's a real glossy card. It's not chrome and it's not a paper finish, but it's a glossy card, which also gets more imperfections on there. And so for that reason, I think it is a very good option to look at and to consider because it's good looking, awesome picture of Vlad smiling. It's very different than all of his other cards, and it's tough to find in good condition. At number 9, we have Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s Optic Rookie card. So this is the only Panini product I'll be focusing on because just like all the other players with Chronicles, there are so many rookies from that same set. It's basically 10 different sets in one. And so it's hard to get like the good players. Well, it's easy to get the good players in there because it's such a small checklist for each set. But, you know, identifying which of those is the best one is difficult. This is the most valuable. I really like the Obsidian and I really like the Phoenix rookie cards. But Optic will be the most sought after because it is the traditional basketball and football brand, that and Prism. But Optic right now, it's a $10 card raw. So pretty close to all of these. But in a PSA 10, it's $125. It is a PSA 10 pop 43 with 76 graded for a gem rate of 56%. So a very scarce card. So I would recommend picking those up if you enjoy the Panini products. If you don't care about the Panini products, then I wouldn't focus on it too much. It will never be his biggest card, but it definitely will carry some clout for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. collectors. At number 8, we have his actual base flagship rookie card, which I know seems interesting. That's at number 8, but it's because Topps is doing this really annoying thing, in my opinion, where they'll release a short print of a player in a different set and then his flagship card in another set. They did it with Acuna, they did it with Vlad, and basically it's going to be a trend they're going to keep doing. They kind of did it with Ohtani, releasing him with 2 flagship rookies in 2 different sets. But regardless, it devalues this card heavily, his other short print, which we'll get to. This card right now is a $10 card raw, $75 in a PSA 10. It's worth a little bit less than almost all of these, but because it is his flagship rookie, I still think it has a higher position on this list. I can hear the argument for being below the Heritage, but right now I still have it at number 8. This card has 1,603 PSA 10s, and there are 4,828 graded for a gem rate of only 33%, which is crazy low. I don't know if 2019 Topps Update just has a hard time with condition issues, or if this is just a specific card, but regardless, that's really, really low for a modern card in comparison to everything else. Everything else we've talked about so far has been around 50 to 80%. This is at 33. After that, we have the 2019 Topps Chrome update. Again, this one is definitely worth more than the other base update card, but it's the same situation. There's another Topps Chrome Vlad out there that matches his other short print, which is even more confusing. So this one's just devalued. Right now, it's a $15 card raw, $95 in a PSA 10. There are 2,645 PSA 10s. With 3,396 graded, which is a PSA 10 gem rate of 78%. So not the hardest card to get, not the hardest card to gem, and because of that, it's going to be a little bit lower. 2019 update was much more heavily printed than the previous 2 years of 2017 and 2018, and because of that, these cards are just a little bit easier to find. At number 6, we're getting into the cards that I think are really good investments. This is going to be a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Bowman Chrome rookie. I think modern Bowman Chrome rookie cards are worth a lot. If you watch my channel, I did a top 5 cards to pick up before the season starts, and I think they'll go up. And I focused on Arenado, and I thought his card would go up, but for some reason it's gone down with excellent play from Arenado. And I think it's just because prior to like 2018, 2017, people didn't really care about the Bowman Chrome rookies. I think that's changing. I think that like view is going to have a different approach now that these are much more short printed in comparison to the flagship rookie cards. And on top of that, this is a hobby only product. It's hard to grade historically speaking. And on top of that, they're just way more scarce. The print runs are much lower compared to the other iconic cards. And that's not different for this card. Right now, it's a $15 card raw, $110 in a PSA 10. There are 509 PSA 10s, 752 graded for a gem rate of 67%. But compare that again to his Heritage and Update. Heritage has, this is 500 PSA 10s. The Heritage is almost 3,600. The Update is 1,600. The Update Chrome is 2,600. The point is, this is a much rarer card since it's not released mainstream like other products. At number 5, we have the 2019 Silver Pack rookie of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. These Silver Pack rookies are way more scarce. And I say every time, but I'll also explain if you're new to the videos, these are only available in jumbo boxes of, Update or Series 2. I think this is from Update. They're only in jumbo boxes or in hobby boxes, and you only get one pack in a hobby box with 4 cards in that pack, and you get 2 packs in a jumbo box with 4 cards in the pack. So they're very short printed, they're hard to find, and they're a tough get. So for this card specifically, it's $35 raw, which is far and away the most valuable card on the list raw. The only one that's comparable is this Tribute Rookie because that one is limited to 435 copies. But on top of that, in a PSA 10, we're starting to get to a little bit higher range of $160. There are 195 PSA 10s, 281 graded, and a gem rate of 69.4%. So tough card to get, really good looking card. It has that Mojo design. That's not the refractor version, that's just how they all look out of the pack. So it's a really nice card. Next up, we have the base Topps Chrome card. So again, this is what I'm going to talk about. This has the image of Vlad that's comparable to his short print, which we'll get to, which is a better looking image than him throwing on his Topps Chrome Update image. This card is going for quite a bit. I'm happy that it's getting higher. It's at $35 raw, $200 in a PSA 10, but there are a lot of them. But it is still identified as the go-to, plentiful Vladimir Guerrero Jr. card. Right now, there's 4,628 PSA 10s with 5,855 graded. That is a gem rate of 79%. So it's not the most rare card in the world, but it is a much more iconic and collectible card in comparison to the others. Next up, we're going to have a card that's going to be comparable to this one, and we'll talk about some differences. And that's going to be his 2019 Series 2 short print. So the Acuna short print was about 1 per case is what, on the blowout forums they would speculate on. And this is speculated to be about 4 or 5 per case. So it's not nearly as rare as Acuna. Acuna's only has 1,000 of his short prints graded. This card right now has 7,743 graded. But the thing that saves this card is there are only 3,914 10s. So that is a gem rate of just over 50%. They're very condition sensitive, and it is just the flagship rookie I would target. It's not really a flagship rookie. It's no number on the back. It doesn't have a number. It's not on the checklist. If you collect Pokemon, it's kind of like their secret rares. It's kind of what this is, basically. Not my favorite thing that Topps has done, but I do like that they made one of the best players more scarce of a card, making the card more valuable. It's comparable to how many Mike Trouts have been graded, or at least it will be when it's all said and done, which I do like, compared to Acuna and Soto in their Update series. It's estimated to be about 200,000 of each card made. This is more around the 50,000 card range. So a much better buy in my opinion. That is at number 3. And raw, I don't know if I said the numbers, it's $40 raw, which is crazy low in my opinion. And in a PSA 10, it's $250, which is crazy low in my opinion. I definitely would consider picking those up if you do not have one and you believe in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. At number 2, this is the exception to the rule I said earlier. This is his Bowman Chrome first card. And when this hit the market, Vlad has always been a really sought after player since he was a prospect. Obviously, he has great blood in his veins from his father. He is just a baseball player. He had tremendous power. His hit tool was 80 from a lot of different baseball prospecting people. 80 is as high as it gets on the grading scale. It's usually, I think, 30 through 80 or 40 through 80. So to get an 80 hit tool is very, very rare, and he had that. So people were very high on this card, and you'll see that reflected in the pop reports. Right now, there are 2,734 PSA 10s, and there are 4,148 total graded for a gem rate of 66%. This card raw is $75, and in a PSA 10 is $400, so drastically more than any other card in this list. And the final card we have is the trend of all of these modern players, is the Topps Chrome Sapphire Rookie. It is a gorgeous card. It has that atomic cracked ice look. But on top of that, they are very short printed in comparison to any of these other sets. This is also an exception to the rule because this is technically an online purchase from Topps.com, but it is readily available and you can still buy these boxes for about $1,000 online. It's not likely to pull a good card, but it's still available enough where I didn't exclude it, like, you know, the Montgomery Club rookies or the Throwback Thursday rookies or any of those cards. This card, excellent condition. You know, they usually grade well. It's a PSA 10 pop of 194 with 264 total graded for a gem rate of 73%. This card raw is $450, and in a PSA 10 is $1,700. So the most valuable Vlad card out there for a base card is definitely the Sapphire Rookie. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you this week. I just wanted to highlight Vladimir Guerrero Jr. since he's probably the AL MVP favorite. I'll catch you in the next video. Let me know down in the comments below who you would like to see next week for these rookie card rankings. The one with the most likes will be the player that I focus on. All right, guys, catch you in the next episode. Thanks.